Calvin Scheck, head coach, Winkler Flyers. Sure, so first as a player, I grew up just outside of Edmonton, Alberta. Played my minor hockey out on the frozen rinks in rural Alberta, and then moved into the city, played some juniors in Edmonton, played a little bit of college hockey in Edmonton for a couple years, and then was told in no uncertain terms that I was a better coach than a player, probably, which was difficult to hear, but definitely was true. So I got to watch a lot of hockey in those years, and then after hanging up my skates, moved into coaching in Edmonton for 7 or 8 years, something like that, and then moved to Vancouver, spent some time with minor hockey, working in hockey there, and then spent the last 3 years with the University of British Columbia in U Sports. Well, coming from university hockey, it's younger. University is primarily 20 to 25-year-olds working on their degrees. Junior hockey, it's a big shift going from coaching a 25-year-old who, lives with his girlfriend downtown and to bringing in 16-year-old rookies. So, but what I've seen so far out of our people here is that there's a lot of maturity and the culture is really strong. So, people that are just on a different, in a different phase of their life, working on, hockey in the last few years of junior hockey, and then hopefully moving on to professional hockey at some point in their lives, and school and getting scholarships and that sort of thing. First and foremost is internal drive. You can holler at a player and you can crack the whip as much as you want, but they're going to tune that kind of thing out. And I think the best athletes on the planet have an internal drive and they can push themselves. Second thing would be, the ability to balance their athletics with the rest of their life. For our guys, that means school. The guys that are in still going to high school, and then the guys who want to work towards Division I scholarships, they need to, if there's upgrades and things like that, and they need to balance their lives. And then the last thing would be, just the ability to sacrifice. Lots of these guys have said many times in their lives, nope, sorry, I can't do that. I've got hockey since they were little kids. So, coming with that is the nutrition and getting the proper rest, while still, making sure that you are a good teammate and you're hanging out with your team and you're enjoying that part of playing junior hockey. But there's a balance to be struck there for sure. Just to lead the way on and off the ice. All of our veteran players want to move on either next year, or in the case of the 18 and 19-year-olds, whether it's next year or the year after, and those guys really get to set the culture that they want. The dressing room belongs to them. We've got our rules here are to be on time and no bad body language. So the veterans that we have coming back are going to be a great example of that. Just be the example. Be what they want on the ice and off the ice. The rookies, yeah. So first and foremost, the rookie's got to show that he can handle the grind mentally and physically. So, we play 60 games. We're on the ice every single day. If you're a rookie, chances are you're still in high school, and it's not an option to not go to school and not take care of your schoolwork, because at some point, we want to move these guys on to Division I scholarships. So, they have to be able to take care of themselves. They're in billet homes and whatnot, and they've got people looking after them, and that's great, but we're not going to hold their hand and force them to be accountable for themselves and their nutrition and things like that. So, and then once they get to the rink, they need to demonstrate that they can handle, the physical play and the bigger bodies in the Manitoba Junior Hockey League. And, there's a lot of different ways that you can contribute to a team. You don't need to come in and score 30 goals as a rookie your first season. That would be great, but you can contribute on the power play, you can contribute on the penalty kill, you can contribute in the defensive zone or the offensive zone. So as long as there's a niche or there's some specific way that you can contribute to the team, then you can survive as a first-year player. Favorite hockey quote? I was thinking about this because I was doing some homework on it. My favorite personal hockey quote is "No energy vampires." That kind of goes with one of our rules here. We don't want people sucking the energy out of our organization. We want people bringing it in. But I really like the quote. I think it's "Be the change you wish to see in the world." I guess it's not specifically a hockey quote, but I think it applies. I think stuff like that applies to our dressing room and our culture. So yeah, I'll go with that one. Pre-game meal for me, when I was a kid, when I was playing, I used to eat like a bun and one of those cans of Alphagetti. And so I'm really trying it's like do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. And then maybe that's why I was done hockey when I was 22 years old. For me personally, I just like to keep it pretty light. Like I'm a chicken and rice guy, just like all the players. But I know everyone's got their own specific thing, I guess, their rituals that they like to eat. So yeah, who knows. Best hockey player of all time, very obviously Doug Weight, former captain of the Edmonton Oilers. No one's better than him. He was my idol growing up. But that's my heart talking, my head. I think at each position, I think Wayne Gretzky, obviously, just his vision, the way he was able to make people around him better. I probably would have scored 30 goals playing on that guy's right wing. Fortunately, I just never got the chance. But best defenseman of all time, I'll go with Nick Lidstrom. He was a modern defenseman 20 years ago, and there's still young D-men that are modeling their game after him. And then goalie, you know what? I'm going to go with Ed Belfour, former Winkler Flyer. Fun personality, loved to play the puck. But then, yeah, I was also a big Curtis Joseph fan growing up. So whoever stops the most pucks. My pre-game rituals just surround the timing, my routine. So I like to come into the room to talk to the guys at the same time every day, before every game, and then working backwards. I like to eat at the same time. I like to nap for about the same amount of time. Come to the rink the same amount of time, things like that. But then ritual-wise, I guess my biggest is just watching warm-up. I like to get out and watch warm-up. I like to be myself, get out there once the music starts going and whatnot, then it kind of just tells my mind that it's time to go and pushes everything else out of the way. And by the time you're watching warm-up, that means you're prepared and you're ready to go, and there's nothing really left to say except, let's go, let's do this. Well, I kind of did them all in order. So this is the Wicked Witch of the West, which at the time I was pretty young when I got it, and I didn't really know what it meant. Nowadays, I just tell people it's a story told from the villain's perspective, and why maybe Dorothy wasn't the hero kind of thing. So I like stuff like that. And then on this side, this is like a scientist, and he's in a bucket, and he's flying into space. He's flying away from Earth. So that one I think about whenever I'm stuck in traffic in Vancouver. So fortunately, I don't have to deal with that anymore. So I guess this one doesn't mean anything in the moment, but it looks cool. So, and then and then this one, this is, again, I don't really know. It's kind of like a city, but fun story. So it says the journey continues here. And when I first moved out of Edmonton, my dad had a going away party, or made me a cake, and it said the journey continues on this cake. And so I tattooed it on my arm, and now I'm out of real estate, so I'm out of ideas. No, probably not. When I shave, I look younger than the players, so I really do this just to try to feel like I'm older and bigger and better than I actually am.